Let's go Ravens! What if I told you that the Baltimore Ravens are about to make a decision that could completely reshape the future of their offense, and most fans haven't even realized how important it is? We're not just talking about one player, we're talking about a play that could define the team for years to come. But before we go any further, be sure to like this post right now if you truly believe in this team and its future. And I want to see your energy in the comments. Write something like, "Let's go all the way. I believe in the Ravens." Now let's get straight into it. There are two big questions that have been circulating among Ravens fans, and they're impossible to ignore. First, is Zay Flowers truly a number one wide receiver? And second, does he deserve top wide receiver money? Let's start with the identity of a WR1. What does that even mean in today's NFL? For many, it's not just about stats. It's about reliability, consistency, and impact. A true number one receiver is someone the quarterback trusts no matter the situation, when things are smooth and when everything is falling apart. It's a player who can take over games, elevate teammates, and create opportunities out of nothing. And when you look at Zay Flowers through that lens, it becomes very hard to argue against him. The connection between Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson has been undeniable. Time and time again, we've seen Lamar look his way in crucial moments, trusting him to make something happen. And more often than not, Zay delivers. Yes, there have been mistakes, drops, fumbles, moments that frustrate fans, but the reality is, the positive plays far outweigh the negatives. What makes Zay unique is also what divides the fan base. His playing style is electric, unpredictable, and sometimes risky. He's the kind of receiver who will turn back, cut, and try to make defenders miss even when there's open space ahead. And when it works, it's highlight reel material. When it doesn't, it leaves everyone asking why he didn't just run straight. But that's his game. That's what makes him special. And let's talk production, because numbers don't lie. Zay Flowers has improved every single year since entering the league. His rookie season brought 77 catches, 858 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Then came his second year, breaking the 1,000-yard mark. And in his third season, he elevated even further with 86 receptions, 1,211 yards, and 5 touchdowns. That's not just consistency, that's growth. What's even more impressive is that these numbers came despite inconsistent usage. There have been multiple games where Zay Flowers dominated early, only to be almost completely ignored in the second half. No screens, no design plays, nothing. And yet, he still produced elite numbers. Think about that for a second. A player who is still not being maximized within the offense is still putting up WR1 level production. That tells you everything about his ceiling. Of course, no player is perfect. Zay's size limits him in contested catch situations, and while he's shown flashes of improving in that area, it's still not his strongest trait. Another point of discussion is his touchdown production. 5 touchdowns in a 1,200-yard season leaves room for growth. But even those weaknesses don't overshadow his overall impact. Now here's where things get even more interesting. The Ravens are approaching a critical decision. By early May, they must decide whether to pick up Zay Flowers' fifth-year option. And that decision carries significant financial implications, potentially around $27 million. But here's the key detail. Whatever decision they make, it's not the end of the story. They can pick up the option and still negotiate later. They can decline it and still extend him. There are multiple paths forward. The real question is not just about contracts, it's about philosophy. Do you pay and build around a homegrown talent who is still improving and hasn't even reached his prime? Or do you risk starting over at one of the most difficult positions to get right? Because let's be honest, finding a receiver like Zay Flowers is not easy. He's a first-round pick who has developed exactly the way you hoped. He produces, he creates, he shows up in big moments. And maybe most importantly, he hasn't even hit his peak yet. There's also a bigger strategic layer here. If you're going to pay him, you have to fully commit to using him. You can't invest that kind of money in a player and then disappear him from the game plan. That's been a recurring frustration in Baltimore, players performing at a high level and then suddenly being taken out of the flow of the offense. If Zay Flowers is your guy, then he needs to be featured consistently, intentionally, every week. And pairing him with the right complementary receiver, someone with size, speed, and a strong catch radius, could unlock this offense in a completely new way. So now it comes back to you, Ravens fans. You've seen the production. You've seen the flashes of brilliance. You've seen the growth and the potential for even more. And this is exactly where things start to get even more intense, because the Ravens are not just evaluating a player, they are defining the future identity of this offense. When you look at Zay Flowers, you're not just looking at a wide receiver putting up solid numbers. You're looking at a player who has already proven he can be the focal point, even in an offense that hasn't fully committed to him yet. And that's what makes this situation so fascinating. Because imagine for a second what happens if the Ravens actually unlock his full usage. We're talking about a player who already commands a heavy target share, already produces efficiently, and is already the first read in many design plays. Screens, end arounds, quick hitters, he's involved in all of it. Now imagine that, but with consistency. Imagine a system where, instead of disappearing in the second half, he becomes even more involved. Where adjustments are made to keep feeding him when he's hot. Where the offense flows through him instead of away from him. That's when you go from a very good receiver to a true elite weapon. And let's not forget something very important that was pointed out. Zay Flowers is one of the best at winning one-on-one matchups, and according to the perspective shared, his best football is still ahead of him. That should excite every Ravens fan watching this right now. Because it means what we've seen so far, that's not the final version. That's just the beginning. Now, when we talk about paying him, there's always that hesitation. Is he worth that kind of money? Can the Ravens allocate those resources elsewhere? And those are fair questions. But here's the reality. If you don't pay him, what's the alternative? Starting over? Hoping to draft another receiver who develops this well, builds chemistry with your quarterback, produces immediately, and continues improving year after year? That's a gamble. A big one. Zay Flowers is not a projection anymore. He's a proven asset. And there's something else that cannot be overlooked. He's a homegrown talent. Drafted, developed, and shaped within the Ravens system. Those are the players you're supposed to keep. Because if you let players like that walk, what message does that send? Now, let's talk about the fifth-year option again, because this is where strategy comes into play. Even if the Ravens decide not to pick it up due to the high cost, that doesn't mean they don't believe in him. It could simply mean they want more flexibility to structure a long-term deal their way. And honestly, that might be the smartest move. Control the cap, control the structure, but most importantly, keep the player. Because at the end of the day, the biggest mistake the Ravens could make here isn't overpaying. It's underestimating what they have. We've already seen what happens when this team fails to fully utilize its top weapons. Situations where players are dominating and then suddenly disappear from the game plan. And that cannot continue, especially if you're investing heavily in someone like Zay Flowers. If you pay him, you commit to him. No more inconsistencies. No more disappearing acts. You build around him, you design for him, and you maximize him. And if that happens, this Ravens offense could reach a completely different level. So now everything is on the table. The production, the potential, the contract decision, the future of the offense, it's all connected. And it all comes back to one name, Zay Flowers. And if the Ravens do make that commitment, then everything changes, not just for Zay Flowers, but for the entire structure of this offense moving forward. Because once you pay a receiver at that level, you're no longer asking if he's your WR1, you're declaring it to the entire league. You're saying, this is our guy. And that comes with expectations. That means when the game is on the line, the ball goes his way. That means defenses start game planning specifically to stop him. That means he becomes the centerpiece, not just a weapon, but the weapon. And based on everything we've seen so far, Zay Flowers has shown he can handle that responsibility. Think about those big moments that were highlighted. When everything is on the line, when Lamar Jackson needs a play, Zay Flowers steps up and delivers. That's not something you teach. That's something a player either has or doesn't. And Zay has it. But here's where the Ravens have to be careful. Because belief alone is not enough. If they're going to elevate Zay Flowers into that role officially, then the system around him has to evolve too. You can't keep repeating the same mistakes, starting games hot and then abandoning what works. You can't